What's happening? Happy Friday to you, man. Joni here. In this video, what I wanted to talk about is, well, first of all, if you don't subscribe, it'd be really cool if you did. So go ahead and do it, and here's why. When I talk about things in my videos, I don't do it with the idea necessarily to teach, but rather to inspire. And so what I'm going to do more often, put more of a focus on, is just relating my personal experiences. I think that's more beneficial than, trying to say, here's what some people do, here's what some people do, and leave it at that. I'm trying to incorporate more personal stuff into it. So on that note, what I want to talk about today is more law of attraction experiences that I've done and things that have actually worked for me because it's so fun to play with once you see it actually working and you start looking for it more often. And the greatest thing about the law of attraction is once you see it working and you notice it, and you play with it, it works even more. And then you start to realize that it's been working your whole life. Even when you didn't believe or know about the law of attraction, it was still working. Because when you don't believe it, you reinforce the fact that it doesn't exist and you'll never see it. That's how it works. It's how it works. So in your best interest, you might as well play with it. Okay? And believe that it works. This is a universal law. It's not some woo-woo thing. I mean, it is to a lot of people, but it really freaking works. I'm gonna attract right now a better phone brace, so when I hit these traveling bumps, they don't be knocking me face sideways. So check this out. The first thing I want to talk about is on Friday, right? A lot of people say, oh, you made it to the weekend, like it's the end-all, be-all finish, like the hard shit, and now it's time to relax. But I made another video on Friday motivation, and what's cool about this, and at least in my experience, remember, is that when you want to get to a really happy, awesome, emotional state of just well-being, where you feel really good and everything's going well for you, which a lot of us do, most of humanity likes to, eliminate pain and discomfort and move towards ease and comfort, right? That's kind of like a psychological thing we all kind of work towards, even on a subconscious level. So on Friday, when you have very little resistance to feeling good because you already feel good, that's a good momentum to have moving forward into the next week, which normally people look at Mondays like, oh, I got a case of the Mondays, and Monday fucking sucks because of, you had this whole shitty work week ahead of you if you're in a job you don't like, but on a different note, if you're in a job you don't like, man, when are you going to do something different? Just ask yourself that question. And at the end of this video, I'm going to wrap up a really cool way to make that happen and to help you create a springboard for getting to a different place. And of course, again, it's an experience that I used, so I know firsthand that this works. Not only have I read it from other people, but I applied it and it works. So it works really freaking awesome. It works really good. So, and it's not just for your job, but for anything you want to do in your life that you've been stuck at. This works amazingly as a springboard to help you get there. So anyways, the Friday motivation deal. So if you have plans for tonight or plans for the weekend, you're looking forward to something good. You anticipate in a good way. But as soon as that's over, and like say Sunday night, you start anticipating Monday and the whole coming week, it brings you down. It feels shitty. So what I would like to do or propose to you is that because it's Friday, start looking at Friday as the beginning of your week. All right? The beginning of your week. Now, for those of you who actually start work on a Friday and you work straight up through the weekend and you take off like a Tuesday or Wednesday, this can work for you too, but you have to shift the days, okay? It's a concept, it's not a day thing. So basically what I'm saying in that context is that at the end of your week, when you're feeling your most kind of drained from the week and excited about the weekend, if you try to flip the awareness of that feeling as the beginning of your week, right? Like you're looking so forward to the weekend or forward to the end of work, right? Flip it so you're looking forward to the beginning of the next week. And it starts off with this awesome freaking day, a couple of good nights going out or relaxing times with your kids or some time by yourself or a small weekend getaway or whatever it is. that is the beginning of your week. And it's set, just, dude, I'm telling you, try this, called Friday Motivation. And then when you think about it, you got Friday night, you got Saturday, and you got a Sunday, which I always, in my opinion, in my personal life, I look at Sunday as a kind of a wind down, peaceful, kind of, believe it or not, middle of the week, kind of, people's like, hump day, you're halfway there. Dude, I do that on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm like, I'm halfway to another Friday, right? Another beginning, right? So you have to look at it that way. And actually, it's, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so it's 4 weeks. I mean, Monday, when Monday's over, that's the definite halfway point for me to another awesome beginning. And this is how I look at it. Try to flip the psychology on this in yourself and see how it works for you. And please, if it works, comment below. If it doesn't work, tell me it sucks. I want to hear about it. I love interaction. I love hearing people's comments, even if it's constructive criticism. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. This sucks. I've never tried it. You're crazy. I love all that shit. So just let me hear it. So also, the one tactic I was going to relate that helps as a springboard to creating things in your life, whether you want to call it law of attraction or just getting shit done. Because believe it or not, when you get shit done, you're using law of attraction. Everything is based on this law, okay? It's not this law that operates separate from everything else and all the other laws. This law of attraction, essentially is what we call the workings of the universe, right? It's always going on. It's not a separate law within reality. It kind of is reality. That's just the way I look at it. And if the deeper you go into the teaching of the law of attraction, you'll realize that it exactly is that. It is reality. It's not a separate law of separate from all the other universal laws, like gravity. All that shit is the same as well. So it's all one big reality, and some of the inner workings of it that makes things happen or not happen, or pulls things together, or that probability of chance happenings, if you will. That even quantum physics talks about this aspect of it. I won't go down that rabbit hole right now. But law of attraction is exactly kind of the interwoven knitting of it all, and a very kind of layman's way of realizing that things are connected, and a fun way to experience it. So here's the deal. You got a thought, something you want to do, I wish I could get back to the gym, or I really want to take a walk this weekend after dinner, or I really want to go see this thing that I've been trying to see, but it's always too late, or it's too early, or there's too many people there, it's too crowded, so whatever it is, pick something. And here's what I want you to do, or at least try this, and please give me the feedback on whether or not this works if you try this. Because you can do it right now. You can do it right now while you're watching this video. I'm going to tell you how to actually do it. Pause the video and then do it. But here it is. Take a piece of paper and a pencil and write down what you're going to do. Write it freaking down. So I'm going to give you an example, a couple of them. So one of them is, let's just say you haven't been to a park or a beach in a while because it's super crowded, and you, for whatever reason, don't like crowds, or parking is a fucking hassle for you, or whatever it is that keeps you from not going, your procrastination. I want you to take out your paper. Now, don't do this on your phone. It doesn't work the same. That's just my experience. I've done it on my phone, and I even set reminders with the thing that came up, and cancel the reminder, and I don't do shit. But when you write it on paper, and I can explain my theory as to why this works so well when you write it on paper, it works. Now again, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen, but it guarantees the springboard effect will happen, okay? And that's part of putting all the law of attraction stuff together. So you're going to I live close to a beach area. I'm a coastal state, so let's do this. I'm going to go to the beach, but it's always so crowded, so I'd never go. Well, here's what I'm going to write down. I'm going to the beach this weekend. My feet will be in the sand, and I will smell the salt in the air, okay? That's what I'll write down. And I'll write it on paper, and I'll leave it out. Like, I'll leave it here in my truck, or I'll leave it on the counter, or I'll leave it next to the coffee maker. And you hear a lot of guys, law of attraction teachers and personal development gurus, I tape this to my bathroom mirror so when I shave, I'm always reading it. Dude, there's a reason why they do this. Because they know it works, and it does work. So write this down. Here's another one. Let's see. I'm going out to eat somewhere, you have this restaurant you want to go to, right? But you don't want to go because it's too expensive or whatever, and you keep putting it off. I'm going to eat out this weekend. You can even put the place down if you want. I'm going to eat out at blah, 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 blah this weekend. I'm going to sit at this location in this restaurant. And here's why I'm getting the details out, because you want to see yourself there. Okay? You don't just want to write it and imagine yourself there, because that's just wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is good, but it's very watered down when it comes to creation. Wishful thinking, the next step is emotional thinking. You want to actually put yourself there, right? You want to put yourself in there and feel the emotions of actually being there. So what you're trying to do essentially is create in your mind the actual feeling of experiencing the event itself. That's why when I was doing my beach example, my feet will be in the sand, and I'm imagining it like feeling gritty between my toes. Some people fucking don't like that, but I love that feeling. It's a very cleansing feeling to me. And the salt in the air, you're like, well, I don't smell salt. Dude, go to the beach. Well, all I smell is seaweed and this and that. Well, that's fine, but I smell salt there. Sometimes I can smell the low tide too. But there is salt in the air, Walk around for a little bit at the beach with anything, your umbrella, whatever, and then lick it when you leave. There's salt on it, all right? Because there's salt in the air at the beach all the time. Which, by the way, is very therapeutic and healthy. If you don't go to the beach and you live in a coastal state, shame, shame, shame on you. Just saying, you should go. So anyways, here's a fun one. If you really want to have fun with this, try this one. I'm going to find money this weekend. All right, just try this one. This one's really cool. I did this one with a very young child, and they did it. And we're walking around, and the dude found $10, like just laying on the ground, and he couldn't believe it. Now that was like the third or fourth time he did it. The first and second time, it was finding pennies, finding dimes, quarters. Dude didn't miss any of them. Didn't miss any of them. He had his sister that was with him, and all she did, she was so frustrated. She was older. How come he finds all this and I can't find anything? So they were both looking, but he was the one finding it. It was amazing. Because the first one he found, it got him thinking, dude, I can do this. This is amazing. And like the third or fourth occasion we went out and did this, he actually found $10. It was awesome. So this is a really fun one to try. And again, I can hear the criticism now. I wrote this shit down and left it anywhere and I didn't find any money. Listen, if that's the case, it's because you don't believe that you did, or you didn't actually feel in your mind what it felt like to actually find money. And so what I would do to kind of help you out, this is like a preventative measure to keep you from failing in this fun little experiment. Remember a time in your life when you're going through your pockets, when you were doing laundry and you found $20 and you forgot about, okay? Even if it was like just some change, small change, a couple quarters. Oh, where'd this change come from? Okay, well, remember the feeling when you felt the money that you did not expect, that feeling of being surprised, right? That's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on that emotion and that feeling, okay? Two separate things. You want the emotion of being excited, right? And kind of pleasantly surprised, and the feeling in your body of what that felt like, okay? Imagine that. And so when you write down, I'm going to find money this weekend, keep that in front of you and report back to me as soon as you find money. So here's the deal. Take out a piece of paper right now. And if you're driving, here's what you're going to do. Pause this video, talk to your phone. If it's an Android, just hit the little Google microphone and say, I can't say it because my phone might actually start recording. What you're going to say is, hey, Google, right? I can't say it because my phone will do it and ruin my freaking video. Set reminder for so-and-so at this time to write down my goal. Say that. Or if you have an iPhone, say, hey, Siri, set reminder to write down my goal at 8 o'clock tonight. A time when you're not going to be in the car. So go ahead and pause the video and do that right now. Right now. Like, don't play around with it because you're going to forget. And if you just speak into your phone, your goal, you'll forget about it. Your reminder will go off, you'll read your goal and whatever. So you might think that having that goal with you all the time in your phone is good, but it's not, because it's not out in front of you. It's on your phone 2 swipes later, deep in a notebook app or something like that. You want to keep the paper out. Now I'm going to explain why this works. So did everyone pause the video and do that? Good. So welcome back. Here's what we're going to do. The reason why this works is because, remember what I said, wishful thinking, when you just think about something? Okay, wishful thinking is simply that. When you take it and you actually put your feeling and emotion into the idea, and then you write it down, you have actively started the creation process. You've taken the thought, I'm going to get to the beach this weekend. And now you've thought about it. I'm going to feel my toes in the sand, and I'm going to smell the salt in the air. And like right now as I'm saying that, I can hear seagulls, you know, like chirping on the beach, what they do, you know. I can hear the waves crashing. I can put myself there. It's very easy for me to do because I go to the beach all the time. So that's super easy for me to do. So, but what I'm going to do now is write it down. So when I've written it down, I've thought about it, wishful thinking, very watered down creation process. Then I've imagined what it's like to be there. I'm making that watered down process a little bit more viscous, if you will, a little thicker. Okay. Now I'm actually taking a pencil and I'm writing down that thought on paper. I have created the reality. I've took it from something that is non-tangible. No one else around me may know I'm thinking and feeling this, to now I've put it on paper. I've put it out there in the world. It is a tangible thing that you can see. My idea is on paper. It's a reality now. It's a written word reality, but it is reality. It's one step closer to actually manifesting and creating the actual event. See what I'm saying? So these are tools to get creation underway, to kind of jumpstart it and springboard the creation process. Springboard the process of making it into actual reality. So people don't look at writing down as a creative process. Man, come on. I mean, how often do you read books or any magazine or story and you can kind of put yourself in there? Good writers know this, and they know they're creating something. They're creating something in our mind. They're creating emotion and feeling. It's all intertwined. Remember when I was saying the law of attraction kind of is the interwoven kind of thread, you know, through a lot of circumstances and happenings? It's crazy, man. You guys, when you start to play with this, it's just amazing. So anyways, please, please, please subscribe if you haven't, because here's why. The more people can see this, the more I can interact and get feedback from, and I just freaking love that. I love interaction. I love people who get this and who love to talk about it. And even more so, I love people who've never experienced it and sharing it with them and having them experience it and hearing their feedback. Like, that to me is amazing. I really love that a lot. So that being said, everyone, please enjoy your fantastic Friday, the beginning of your awesome week. Enjoy the next few days, and I hope it is beneficial in your mindset. And I hope that things go exactly as you design them. So work on creating it. Leave a link or leave a comment below and let me know how things are going for you. And we'll see you on the next video. Manjoni out. Adios.